So we're going to take a look at some oral tests now, and whether you're taking an exam or not, it is important for you to do these exercises because this is all about musicianship and musicality. If you understand what you're listening to, then you can apply that to your playing and therefore become a better player. If you are taking an exam, then depending on the board of music you're taking it with, these exercises may vary. So I'm going to give a few examples from ABRSM and Rock School because they're two exams I have taken. If you are taking an exam and it's not covered here, then you can always pop it in the Facebook group or send me an email and I could always do a video. So these exercises, to start off, we're going to clap to the pulse of a piece of music. So this is all about pulse, this is about beat, and all you have to do is clap along. Now, if it's in 4/4 time, we want to remember to emphasize the downbeat. So this is the main beat. So if it's 4/4, you're just clapping 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's in 3/3 time, which you should be able to hear, remember this is our waltz time, you'll emphasize beat 1. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if you're doing an exam, the examiner will just play any piece of music and you just have to clap along as soon as they start. So I'll play something super simple, just a couple of bars. I'll play that again. So hopefully you were clapping. Now if I was to play something maybe a little bit quicker. I'll play that again. So with that one, it's a lot quicker, but you can still hear the pulse. And if you're doing it in 3/4 time, you've learned a song in 3/4, Happy Birthday. So you should be able to hear the pulse. So if you were clapping along to that, it should sound something like. I mean, you can really overemphasize that first beat if you wanted. The main thing is that you can show that you can hear that pulse, that you can hear the beat of the music, and that's all the examiner needs to know. And this is a good thing for you to do anyway. Whenever you're listening to a piece of music, tap your foot, feel the rhythm, try and ask yourself, well, what time signature are we in? Is it 4 time? Is it 3 time? Ask yourselves all these questions, be listening out for this stuff. Okay, so next we're going to talk about clapping back an echo of the rhythm. So this is different. In the last exercise, we were listening to the pulse and just clapping the pulse, which is the beat. In this exercise, you're actually going to clap back the rhythm. So an examiner will play a piece and finish, and it'll probably just be one hand at this stage. And you just have to clap back the rhythm. So if it was Happy Birthday, you would wait for her to finish or him to finish, and you would go. And that's it, you've just clapped the rhythm. So let's try this with just a couple of bars of music. I'll play anything, and you have to clap it back. So hopefully you went. Let's try a different one. I'll play that again. So you would have gone, getting that. That's the rhythm. Let's try a different one. I'll play that again. So you should have gone. And that's all it is, and it will only be a couple of bars. Now there is a second exercise to this. It's exactly the same thing, except you have to sing back. And you do not have to sing in tune, and you do not have to sound good. You just have to show that you know the rhythm. So if you were doing that one, you would have to go da 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 da. And you don't have to be a singer at all. You just have to show you know the rhythm. However badly you sing, you just show you know the rhythm. Now the last thing that you would do for ABRSM is you would answer a question about a piece of music that the examiner plays. So this could be either about dynamics or articulation. So at this stage, if the question's about dynamics, they'll just ask you what happened in the piece. Was it loud or quiet? And if it's about articulation, they'll ask you, was it legato or staccato? So was it smooth or detached? So if I was to play just a simple piece of music, let's say the examiner's asking you about dynamics. So listen to this piece of music and then tell me something about the dynamics at the end. So if we're talking about dynamics, what happened in the piece of music? Well, hopefully you heard that it started quiet, it then went loud, it stayed loud, and then it went quiet at the end. So your answer would be, it was quiet, it then went loud, and then it went quiet again. And that's all you need to do. So this time, let's say we're asking questions about the articulation. So you're listening out for staccato and legato. So is it smooth or is it detached? So take a listen. Well, I started off smooth. I then went quite staccato in the third chord, and then I went back to being smooth again. So the first chord was smooth and quiet. The second chord was loud but smooth. The third chord was loud and staccato. And then at the end I went smooth again. Now you don't have to say which chord or what bar what happened, you just need to give a general overview on what happened. So for the dynamics you say it was quiet and then it went loud and then it went quiet. For the articulation you'll say it started smoothly and then there was a bit of staccato in the middle and then it ended smoothly, and then that's all you need to do. So with the Rock School exam, the exercises are slightly different. So first you'd have something called Melodic Recall. And all we do for this is we play two notes and you have to tell the examiner whether the second note is higher or lower than the first. So let's try this. I'll hide my hands so you can't see what I'm doing. Here's the first note. And here's the second note. So is that second note higher or lower than the first? Well, it's higher. I played a C first, and then I played a G. So quite an easy one. Let's try again. Here's the first note. Here's the second note. Is that second note higher or lower? Here's the first note. Second note. Well, that second note is lower. It's a G, and the first one was an A. And that's all you have to do. So let's do one more. Here's the first note. Second note. So the second note is higher. It's a F, and the first one was a D. And that's it. That's all you have to do for that test. And I will add them as exercises to this lesson. So the next thing you have to do is chord recognition. Now this is telling the examiner whether a chord they're playing is major or minor. Now this is quite easy to do when you hear them both together. So if I was to play a C major followed by a C minor, it's quite easy to hear the difference. The C major is very happy, and the minor is a bit more melancholy. It's a bit sadder. So happy, sad. So it's quite easy to hear the difference. But if you heard just one of them on its own, it's not quite as easy to do. And this is something that can be trained. It really is. This is something you can just practice at, and you can get anybody in your house to help you. Show them how to play a major or minor chord, and then get them to play one at a time, and you have to say whether it's major or minor. Let's try it now. So I need to hide my fingers. You can't see what I'm doing. So I'm going to play a chord, and you have to say whether it's major or minor. So let's give it a go. So what do you think? Is that major or minor? Well, I'm playing a G major. The minor would be this. Major, minor. Let's try a different one. Okay, so what's this one? Major or minor? That's a minor. That's an E minor. The major would be this. So you can hear the difference. Let's try again. What's this one? That is a B major. Minor would be this. And the B major, I think, sounds quite bright. So I think it's an easier one to tell. Major, minor, major, minor. Let's try one more. Here we go. What's this one? That is an F major. The minor would be... So that's the exercise. I will chuck some of these into the exercises for this lesson so you can have a practice as well. But it's really great if you do this with people at home. So those are the two main oral tests you have to do for Rock School. You would have to answer some musicianship questions as well. And the questions will be on one of the pieces you're playing. So all the information for you should be there. It could be a question on rhythm, melody, harmony. It could be a technical question or a genre question, but they'll be for your standard. So if it's a question about the melody or the rhythm, it would be about the melody you're playing and the notes you're using, or the rhythm would be half notes, whole notes, or quarter notes, because that's what you're using in the piece. If the question's about the genre of the piece, on a Rock School exam, they give you information about each piece of music you're playing. So as long as you've read that, you should know the answers. So all of these I'm going to put into the exercises, the daily exercises for this week, so you can practice. But the main thing is to start thinking about the music you're listening to. Whenever you listen to a new piece of music, think about what key it could be in. Think about whether it could be major or minor. How does it make you feel, happy or sad? What's happening within the piece, with the dynamics, with the articulation? And always be thinking about this when you play your own music as well.